Hey guys, welcome back to another 1.19 Skyblock episode. So between the episodes, I've been running the podzol farm to a point where the storage got filled up, to the top slot, and then it also automatically shut off the podzol farm. So it was nice to see that this system also works, but I definitely kept an eye on it while this was actually running. So as soon as it was done, I stopped AFKing anyway, because if something would have went wrong, then usually it tends to break really bad, blocks being pushed everywhere. So it was nice to keep an eye on this. Okay, then a lot of people also suggested that instead of just shutting off the farm like I did, to just redirect the blocks into the blast chamber instead, so we wouldn't waste any AFK time. Definitely get the point of this, definitely also makes sense, but I felt like it's not really necessary because, to be honest, I'm probably gonna fill this podzol storage once and then never again. This time I kept an eye on it anyway. So some of the things I do here, of course, are not super necessary, like this whole auto shut off if I'm watching the farm the one time it gets filled anyway, but sometimes it's just nice to do stuff. So later we're gonna mine all of that podzol here as well. I also don't really know what to do with it, to be honest. I got carried away a little bit here. So it all started that I was thinking, hey, it would actually be nice if we can also get a little bit of podzol from the farm. But yeah, if you blow up everything, we just get dirt, and then we need to somehow mine it later with slickage. So block storage is needed, and then I thought the normal one is filled in 15 minutes. It's kind of underwhelming, so I made the bigger one. And now we have so much podzol that I'll probably never need. But yeah, Minecraft is fun. I mean, not everything needs to be necessary. A lot of people also urge me to build a house, which is even less necessary. But we'll also do that in a couple episodes. I'm gonna build a house. Yeah, anyways, we need to mine this later. I'm gonna do something else first in the episode, and then I can also talk about what we can actually do with the podzol, so there might even be something we can do with it. Quickly want to check up on the honey farm. This has also been running on the side, but yeah, it's really slow. Now we're almost at a point where I have enough honey blocks to put it into the autocrafter, but I feel like we don't even need the autocrafter really. Farm is not really that fast. We want the autocrafter with a much bigger farm. That's the whole reason why I added the system. Like in the Peaceful series where we had almost 2,000 bees producing honey in the nether. There I actually spent an hour just crafting honey bottles into honey blocks without the auto crafter, and there, yeah, would have loved to have one. But here I come back after a couple hours, and then maybe one chest is filled with honey bottles, just crafted in 30 seconds. So it's not super necessary right now. Yeah, the other thing on a peaceful server, the server was running 24/7, so I came back after 48 hours of a much larger farm running all the time. But here, yeah, this only runs if I'm actually playing the game. Yeah, so the thing I actually want to work on is the bartering system. So we made this before we even had comparators, so I couldn't even make item filters and so on, but we're running out of things we get from bartering lately, so I used up all of the blackstone already. Then we run out of quartz. I used almost the last quartz to craft all the observers for the block storage. There's a couple left, but this wouldn't last long. Like one project usually is already like 500 observers these days. So yeah, obsidian is the other thing we ran out of. Soul sand is not much left. So there's definitely a reason now to work on the bartering again. But actually the last time I did the bartering, I spent like more than half an hour sorting items manually. I could do that, but I feel like it would be kind of nice to have at least an item sorting system now attached, and we can maybe add auto crafting for the gold nuggets as well. Let's quickly head over there and explain my plans. Okay, so when we made the gold farm back in the day, everything was still fairly manual. We didn't even filter rotten flesh from the nuggets, so usually I just came over here, threw the rotten flesh into the void, took the nuggets, crafted them into ingots, and then put them into the bartering system. Climbed up the ladders, put in a chest there, then I was waiting here. Got all kinds of items. Yeah, we didn't have comparators yet, so there's also no filtering system for those items. Then I just spent like half an hour manually sorting everything into chests over here. But we used up a lot of the stuff already, except the arrows. And yeah, the gravel will be used soon. So the plan would be now to redo this a little bit. Of course, we could make a faster gold farm and completely start from scratch, but I think can make a larger gold farm later in the series once we have shulker boxes. Right now, this is definitely enough. So the plan would definitely be now to somehow sort out the rotten flesh. Although it's a bit tricky, we're really at the bottom of the world already. Probably have to do some dropper elevators, get the items up so we can sort them. And then auto craft the nuggets into ingots. So that's really nice, so we can do that and put it directly into the bartering system. So when I AFK here, everything will be done automatically and I just get the quartz in the end. Okay, that would be fairly nice. We also have to redo this. Maybe we also have the piglins a couple blocks higher, so there's enough space below for the sorting system. Also have to see how large we make it. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna... It's fairly straightforward. I think I'm just gonna go to creative and do this without showing the design process and build it straight away in a time lapse. There was also a discussion lately again. I definitely always look at all the comments. That a lot of people weren't really satisfied with the content lately because it was so much creative. So people think it's boring and it's not really Skyblock anymore. Of course, I have to disagree there because like everything I do in the creative world directly develops the survival Skyblock world, and I can't do this just in survival. Like imagine the podzol farm, how am I supposed to wing this in survival? Like this is all fairly advanced stuff, like designing this flying machine, for example, where in creative you have to just launch it 10 times and then you make a mistake and have to rebuild it. It would just take 5 times longer for no reason to do all of this strictly in the survival world. It would be a complete waste of time to not do this in creative. Of course, I definitely see the point that people find it boring, not interesting, not relatable and so on, but I don't think I want to change my content because there's definitely some people that enjoy seeing the creative design process, but I think it's not even the majority. I think more people would enjoy it if I just design my stuff in creative and then just build in survival all the time and just make progress here, but I feel like there's a lot of channels that do that already, or they don't even design their stuff themselves. They have a team in the background, also for their design builds, or they just take the redstone creations from the larger community and show those. I think for me it would also be better also to just do what everybody else does, because definitely those guys' viewership numbers are higher. Like people that get millions of views, for example, in hardcore, uh, taking someone's like bedrock breaking contraption, paste it in with Light Medica, and yeah, maybe a bit more entertaining around and yeah, just don't show any of the boring design process. I think definitely would make sense for me to not show this, but I feel like I'm doing this for a couple years now, and the longevity I only have because I still enjoy the game. I don't just do it for the views and clicks. Basically, this Skyblock world here is like just how I like to play the game, and what I enjoy the most when playing the game is figuring stuff out in creative, and I think it would be a shame to not show it as well, even if the majority of people find it boring. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna change my content because it's probably better just in the long run to stay authentic than just to chase views all the time, hyping everything up, then doing projects that are just made for the clickbait, like coating your world in gold blocks or doing some stupid stunts just for the views. Then I'd rather do something that I find interesting, like a boring block storage. Yeah, it's just the type of content I enjoy, really, and it's not made for the views, I guess. That's why I also have lower views than other people, but it's fine. I'm really thankful that a lot of people enjoy what I'm doing and supported me over the years and make it possible that I can play the game to such an extent. So not gonna complain, but I definitely see those complaints that it's boring, but I'm not gonna really change my content. Okay, but this time we're actually gonna skip the creative part. Alright, so the blocks for the bartering system and crafting system have been placed, filters have been prepared. All I need now is to get the piglins over there. I think we had like 6 piglins over there. Technically I only need 3, but I think I'm just gonna put in 4 or 5 over there. Okay, so the plan is we're gonna push in the rails here and the block in the back, and I can just place minecarts and hopefully the minecart will take off. Okay, guess I'm gonna break this pistons. See, place minecart. Yeah, as planned. Okay. And it drops down, and then I can just break the minecart. We could also put them all on rails. I'm not sure. I think it's probably best if I just break the minecart. Hitbox. So we're gonna hit the piglin by accident. There we go. Perfect. Okay. I also came prepared. Actually crafted the golden chest plate so the piglins under no circumstances would attack us unless we strike them first. There we go. Second one. Yeah, this goes pretty smooth. Are those baby piglin sounds? I think I've never heard those before. So if you listen to this like a high-pitched piglin sound, I think it's the baby piglin. Now it stopped. What was that? So I just came back when I put in the third guy and it was this piglin commotion. That was a bit strange. I don't think I've ever had that before. Yeah. Anyway, third guy should also be in now. Oh, I actually forgot to... Oh, yeah, I forgot to punch out the minecart. But I think it's just gonna... Yeah. Just gonna try again, I guess. Oh, he even drops down here at the top. Yeah, X should still be doable. Oh no, of course. Okay, he's in. Okay, so all piglins are in. I already did some cleanup, removed the old system and storage, and moved the items over. Okay, so the system is already producing. Quickly check it out. So like before, the zombified piglins that fall down here, they get killed by the fall. Then the items are collected by the hoppers, and then I had to split it up because we're getting about 3 times hopper speed, send the items left and right. Then the first thing we actually do is we elevate them, so we just permanently power those droppers here. Unfortunately, if you build it that low, you can't even put like a comparator right next to it, because you can't place any block below for the comparator support. So we just permanently power this. I mean, look, those observer clocks, it's not like they're super laggy, so this can just run always, so really no problem. Okay, so we bring the items up. I need to go in either survival or spectator mode for this, so we can actually check out the crafting table. So we bring the items up here, then we filter out the gold nuggets and all the rotten flesh. Whoa, press no. And all the rotten flesh goes just to a dropper here, dispenses it into lava cauldron. Okay, and then all the nuggets sent to the crafting table, and we make ingots out of it. And this is like one of the main reasons, next to maybe honey block crafting or iron block crafting, to convert the nuggets into ingots. This is like something a lot of people probably have to do this for their bartering systems and survival. It's just like so boring, and it's just so nice to just have this little device that does it for us, and can also put the ingots straight away into the bartering system without having to worry. Yeah, so maybe let's see if we can get a ingot. Yeah, it goes through here. It's sent to another dropper elevator. And here, of course, we can use a comparator now. And we send up an ingot every 42 ticks. So that's actually quite interesting. I just learned about this a couple days ago because somebody told me about it. So it used to be that piglins can barter every 6 seconds or 120 ticks. Now in 1.19 something changed internally, just in order things are processed in the tick, which caused this time to go to 121 ticks instead of 120 ticks. It's a bit of a shame. It also, by the way, affects the iron golem farms, because those will now make spawn attempts every 35 seconds, not every 30 seconds. So also affected by the same unintended change. So that's why we got a 42 tick clock now. So the idea was we have 3 piglins up there. 121 divided by 3 is 40.3. So we just dispense the gold ingots just a tiny bit slower than they could handle. So that's why if you would have like 3 piglins in there and use a 40 tick clock, then it would be actually too fast for the piglins to handle. So there is a bug report already. I think Mojang is probably going to change it back to 120 ticks in a future version, but for now we actually need to deal with those 121 tick timings. Bit odd. But apart from that, this actually works out perfectly. So we pretty much produce 1700 iron ingots, not iron, gold ingots per hour, which is just enough what those 3 piglins could process. And they produce 8,800 items with their bartering. So there's a bit of an intermediate storage in case they, for some reason, randomly decide to drop a lot more gravel at once and so on. But it's like 8,800 on average per hour, which is like perfect because this is hopper speed, and we can just run everything over the item filters with a hopper line. So at the end, everything that I don't want, like at this point I don't need those iron boots and books, they will also be dispensed into lava again. But yeah, really neat. If it would have been more than hopper speed, then it of course would have been a bit more complicated. So either we have 2 hopper lines and 2 filter systems, or you dispense the items and shoot them over ice, some slime blocks, but that usually gets a bit more tricky. Then you also have sometimes the issue that filters would overflow and so on. So it's just so much nicer now that we're actually below this 9,000 item per hour threshold that is hopper speed. Okay, so we're quite lucky there. System got a lot simpler this way. It's also really good that the system is super simple. I don't even need an off switch for this, because there's pretty much nothing that could break in a bad way. So I can just leave this area without turning it off, so this is quite convenient. If I come back, you can just AFK back here again and directly get items, so I don't need to do any crafting anymore. Directly can AFK and get items like quartz here, which we got already a little bit again. Okay, so I'm gonna AFK this probably for a couple hours between the episodes, but I will still get some podzol to mine, so let's head back there. Okay, so the plan is definitely now to empty out the complete storage. Just went to the villages and made 6 diamond shovels. That should definitely be enough to mine everything. Almost all the way up. There we go. Alright, now we can dig in. There's gonna be a lot of podzol to mine. Okay, let's actually maybe talk about what I'm gonna do with the podzol, because... Oh, the moss is a bit soft here. I would have loved to use obsidian, but I didn't have enough. Okay, that actually bothers me a little bit that the moss is so soft now. It would have been better with crying obsidian maybe, but I wouldn't have had enough. Anyway, so what am I gonna do with podzol? I definitely don't really need it, so we can use it for a mushroom farm. But a mushroom farm so large that it would require that much podzol is kinda dumb in its own way. But what we can at least do with it, at some point I'm gonna make a rather large bamboo farm. And the bamboo needs to be placed on either dirt or mud, or something like that as well. So there I can just use the podzol then. So we're just gonna build our bamboo farm on top of podzol, I guess. So there will be a use for it. So we have the last couple blocks of the first cube. I'm gonna collect all the items, and it should actually fit perfectly the available inventory size. So exactly 1 chest. And then we can come here and just drop it down. It will be collected at the bottom by the storage system there with the water streams. Okay, 1 down, 18 more to go. It's also kind of important that if you go mining here, that you always take out 1 full cube, because otherwise, of course, the flying machine will get stuck. So it's definitely only working properly if you don't need to mine it all, but at least like those cube sections need to be mined. Alright, so our block storage is empty again. We can fill it up. Probably not with podzol. I still actually need to flick a switch here. So, because the storage sends a signal down that it's full, this needs to be reset manually. So now we mine everything, we can press the reset, and now we could use the podzol farm again. But yeah, to be honest, we have enough podzol for now. I can't imagine we're gonna use this again for podzol, but I definitely at some point wanna fill it with brown and red mushroom blocks. Those also need to be silk touched, so we can use it for that as well. Alright, let's also check out the storage here. So I got plenty of podzol now. Also got collected by the storage system there of the water streams. Perfect. Alright, so everything went pretty well here. Really love this project with the podzol storage. Of course, there's probably more important things that you can build. It's always got a lot of comments. Why would you build this? Why? But then I could also ask, why would you build a house in Minecraft? So always keep that in mind. That's even more useless. Yeah, so anyway, hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks guys for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.